Next on Worcester News tonight, Worcester police saying justice is now being served in a 25-year-old cold case. We'll have more. Plus, the holiday spirit coming alive in Worcester tonight, all for a good cause. We'll have the details. Thanks for joining us. I'm Catherine Rioli. More on those stories in a minute, but tonight we begin with a large fight at the Auburn Mall, ending with one person being sent to the hospital. The Auburn Fire Department tells us a fight involving 5 to 7 women broke out at the Auburn Mall. It happened around 7 p.m. tonight. One woman was sent to the hospital to be treated for an asthma attack. No word on what caused the fight or any other injuries. A man with ties to Whitey Bulger is now charged in an armed robbery and murder from 25 years ago. 80-year-old Ralph DeMasi was arraigned in Worcester Superior Court today. In 1991, Edward Morlock had been working as an armored truck guard at Shaw's in Worcester when he was shot and killed during an armed robbery. He'd been covering a shift for his friend. As the years passed, the case went cold until earlier this year when investigators uncovered new information, leading them to an arrest.
There, he was working for me that particular day and, doing me a favor. And it's something that, you can't get back.
DeMasi has already served time in prison. And after Wednesday's arraignment, investigators talked about how they never gave up on the case. Our Olivia Lemon has more.
80-year-old Ralph DeMasi appears in Worcester Superior Court Thursday. DeMasi is accused of killing Edward Morlock more than 25 years ago.
To this indictment, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
DeMasi is charged with murder and armed robbery of Morlock, who was an armored truck guard at the time. Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. says Morlock was carrying the receipts of a Shaw supermarket to his truck when he was approached by gunmen and shot multiple times.
This well-organized homicide and armed robbery remained unsolved until earlier this year, until new information was discovered by detectives of the Worcester Police in its unresolved homicide unit.
DeMasi once testified he was shot 8 times by an associate of former Boston mob boss James Whitey Bulger and has already served a 21.5-year prison sentence for another armored car robbery.
Getting to this point took a lot of hard work by a lot of people. It was a real team effort.
I was one of the first on the scene of the robbery and murder and went to the hospital to speak to the victim. There I watched him die. This has always been a personal case for me.
Worcester Police Chief Stephen Sargent says the arrest is important because justice has been served for Morlock and his family. Meanwhile, DeMasi's daughter says her father's arrest comes as a shock. She says he recently suffered a stroke and suffers from dementia.
I feel bad for the victim's family that someone was murdered. I don't believe my dad did it, but I do feel really bad for him.
Olivia Lemon, Worcester News Tonight.
DeMasi is now being held without bail and is due back in court in January. And a neighborhood is shaken up tonight after a fire ripped through a home on Pelham Street early this morning. The Worcester Fire Department was on the scene and is investigating. Our Brittany Schaefer has more from neighbors and some of their concerns. Brittany?
Deputy Fire Chief John Sullivan says the cause of the fire is under investigation, but appears to have started in the garage. The townhouse had multiple people living inside of it. One witness telling us 4 people inside at the time of the fire got out safely. A neighbor says his wife called 911 and they were worried about the entire building.
I heard the fire alarms going off next door through the wall. I thought for sure the whole building was going to go up. There was that much smoke.
Antonio Alford says his neighbors have lived in the townhouse for 4 years and he's not sure where they will be able to stay tonight. He says the fire hits close to the holidays and he hopes to support his neighbors.
Anything you need, anything I can do to help, I'm here.
The fire comes a little more than a month after another fire on the same street, actually right across the street on October 22nd, that sent 6 people to the hospital. Catherine?
Thank you, Brittany. Auburn police and firefighters were on the scene of an elementary school fire this morning after reports of smoke in a classroom. Auburn police tweeted out this picture. Auburn's fire chief tells us a custodian noticed smoke, which was caused by an overheated motor in the heating system. There were no injuries and classes were not delayed today at the school. Members of the Worcester community got in the holiday spirit tonight, all for a good cause during the holiday rock toy drive at Compass Tavern. Dozens of presents were donated for the event, which raises funds and collects toys for the Boys and Girls Club of Worcester, Friendly House, and the Guild of St. Anne's. There were also many prizes raffled off, including signed memorabilia from David Ortiz and also gifts donated by local restaurants and businesses. The event had a huge turnout with hundreds of people gathering and bringing toys and donations. An event coordinator for the program says tonight is a way to bring people together in the Worcester community, all to support a good cause and give back during the holidays.
1,000 families from this event. We've got three main agencies that work with us that we support. Got so many people helping out. Worcester County Memorial Park. We pulled in the Railers. We got the Bravehearts. We got the Red Sox. All the sponsors. It's a good time, good event, and it's going to help out a lot of kids.
Other sponsors of the event include Sheriff Lou Evangelitis and Worcester County District Attorney Joseph Early Jr. Both were in attendance at tonight's event. Starting tomorrow, recreational marijuana use will be legal in Massachusetts after voters passed ballot question 4. The new rules and restrictions regarding marijuana use take effect on Thursday. Our Andy Madison joins us with a look at what some towns and cities are doing in response of the change.
A month after residents voted it in, marijuana will become legal, albeit with lots of restrictions in Massachusetts.
Personally, I voted yes for it. If you're a responsible adult and can handle responsibly, it shouldn't be a problem.
Don't drive stoned, don't go to work stoned. Just use common sense with it, really, I think is the biggest thing.
For some communities in central Massachusetts, their biggest thing is making sure the new law doesn't impact municipal workers.
Our employees will not engage in that conduct while they're working for the town. They will not report for duty impaired in any way, and what they do on their own personal time, we don't want to infringe upon anyone's personal rights, but while they're here, we want them to be in adherence with our policies.
Earlier this week, Dudley's selectmen proposed a small change to its alcohol and drug policy to include marijuana. The town is also putting a committee together to look at regulation, especially since Dudley borders Connecticut, a state where marijuana isn't legal.
It makes sense that we want to look at some restrictions and tightening of what's available under the law. Otherwise, we'll be on the map, so to speak.
I would never show up high to work. I feel like when you're at work, you should be clear-minded, and whether you're in customer service or not.
Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
It's been 4 years today since the Sandy Hook massacre took the lives of children in Newtown, Connecticut. Flags are at half-staff today in Newtown. This morning, a moment of silence was held at the town offices and local businesses to honor the 20 children and 6 school workers who were killed in 2012. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy released a statement saying, in part, today is a hard day. It's a day of crippling sadness, and no other family should have to endure the pain that too many in Sandy Hook are suffering today. And I won't rest until our schools and our streets are truly safe. Pastors in Massachusetts have decided to drop a federal lawsuit regarding gender identity guidelines. The Attorney General's office decided to make changes to the law exempting churches. Desiree Wiley explains.
The gender identity law in Massachusetts allows a transgender individual to use a public restroom consistent with the gender they identify with. It also protects them from discrimination.
When I first heard about this law, I confess I was very burdened. And I was burdened because I teach a certain message in our church from the Bible.
4 pastors from churches in Massachusetts filed a lawsuit in October against the Commonwealth, stating churches shouldn't be forced to comply because it violates freedom of religion.
The Attorney General should never have listed houses of worship on her website as unqualified public accommodations.
After review of the lawsuit, the Attorney General's office willingly exempted churches.
People who believe in these scriptures are as divinely inspired.
This transgendered woman who grew up in a Christian family says this contradicts what she was taught.
En mi familia hay mucha gente cristiana, pero realmente el verdadero cristiano.
She says she was always told that God is the only one that can judge.
We have decided to approach that situation pastorally, lovingly, generously, considerately.
The gender identity law went into effect October 1st. Attorneys for the churches say they'll continue to monitor the law, making sure churches are safe to practice what they preach. Desiree Wiley,